I heard a creator make a video where she complained that it sucks being single because you have to pay all the bills by yourself, and if you're in a relationship you get to split all the bills, and she calculated a certain amount of money that she would have saved had she actually been in a relationship. To a certain extent, I understand where she's coming from, but I also want to tell you the reality for a lot of couples. Just because there's two people living together, it does not mean that they're making ends meet. It does not mean that they're making this ridiculous amount of money and they have all this disposable income. And you also have to realize, yes, there's two incomes, but there's now also two people using the electricity, two people eating the food. There's twice as much things getting used and needed. So you'll have to spend more money. And if you throw kids in the mix, then, there you go. It also does not mean that they are splitting bills 50-50. There are a lot of relationships where one person is paying all the bills and they're struggling because of that. And a lot of people do this magical thing to where when they get more money coming in, they tend to live well above their means, which would make them still broke. I like the fact that I'm lucky enough to make enough money to where I can support not only myself, but my children. And it gives me the freedom that when I'm dating, I'm not looking for someone simply to be splitting bills with me. Does that make sense? It's also kind of like women who are making these jokes about, I can't believe that women fought for our right to work. I hate working. I get it. Nobody likes working, But that ability to be able to go out and get a job has afforded women the ability to escape some toxic situations and to be able to have standards and be choosy when they're out dating and getting to know people. Two people making money does not always mean more money, okay? And the right to work, first of all, Black women, indigenous women have always fucking worked. The ability to go out and get a job and get a checking account in your name and own your own land has afforded us, like I said, the ability to escape some really shitty situations and to have standards when we're dating. If you are in dire straits, you can always look for a roommate or live with a family member that's not toxic. The solution to everything is not always couplehood and a relationship and getting married. Like, people think, oh, I'm lonely, so that must mean I need to get in a relationship. No, it means you need to make more effort to get friends or to get out and develop hobbies or get to know yourself maybe. It's not always a relationship. You can be alone and in a relationship. The answer to being stressed out financially and you can't pay your bills, you might have to work two jobs, I don't know, or get a side hustle, or like I said, live with a family member who's not toxic, or look for a roommate, do background checks and have, everything in writing and all that shit. But it's not moving in with a man necessarily. The solution to your sadness is not a relationship necessarily. If those things are going to happen, it should happen organically with someone that you really love, that you've taken your time with, and you haven't ignored red flags, and you're not being desperate. If you're in the mindset that the solution to your financial problems, your emotional problems, your lack of a social life problems is a relationship and marriage, I suggest you reframe that, because you put yourself in a situation where you could wind up settling.